Hi, I'm Mrs. Bolin, and today we are covering a review for an exam. And our first problem is find the x and y intercepts of the line y equals 1/2 x plus 6. So to find the x and y intercepts, let's just first look at finding the x-intercept. And if we are looking at a coordinate system here, and we know that we're looking for an intercept on the x-axis, that means we're looking for a point that is sitting somewhere on the axis right there. And we are not going up and we are not going down in the y direction, okay? So we are not going up, we're not going down. We're going to stay right here, which means that my y value for an x-intercept must be equal to 0. Because if my y value of my coordinate system, so we have our x, y is our coordinate for a point. If my y value right here is anything other than 0, that means I'm going to shift off the x-axis, and therefore I would no longer be in x-intercept. So to solve for our x-intercept, let y equal 0. So we have, in that case, our y is right there, so we're going to let that be 0 is equal to 1/2 x plus 6. Now all we have to do is solve for x, and we'll know where our x-intercept is. We will subtract 6 from both sides, and we get -6 is equal to 1/2 x. To solve for x, we will multiply both sides through by 2, because what I do to one side I have to do to the other. So on this side over here, my 2's will cross out, and I will be left then with -12 is equal to x. So for my x-intercept, intercept, I'm going to have the point, you have to write it as a point, -12, 0. So that's my x-intercept. Now let's go ahead and solve for our y-intercept. Our y-intercept means that we are sitting right here on the y-intercept. We are not going to the positive direction on x, and we're not going to the negative direction on x. We have to stay right here, which means therefore x equals 0. So for the y-intercept, I'm going to shift this up just a little bit. Well, maybe I won't. So for the y, let's switch our ink colors. So for the y-intercept, you're going to let x equal 0. So we have y is equal to 1/2 times x. X is going to equal to 0. Whoops, I should have been plus 6. And solve that out. We end up with y is equal to 6, because 0 times 1/2 goes to 0. So my y-intercept is going to be the point 0, 6. Again, you have to give it an x and y coordinate for the intercepts. Okay, you just can't give a single number. So there are your x and y intercepts, and that is how we solved our problem.